That's saying we're live. Let's see what the lag is. Good evening, folks. Just seeing what the lag is, making sure the audio's all working.
I can hear you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, good evening, people. Sorry I'm a minute or so late. Stitch, Jenny, Graham, Leon, and the lovely Mrs. W. Good evening. We've got 11 watching already.
Good evening.
Good evening, Gary. How you doing, buddy? Oh, dear. Got a bit of wind tonight. But yeah, it's not going to be a long one tonight. I'm absolutely knackered. It's been a long day. First of all, I ended up, with the hospital appointment this morning. Good evening, Sue. Ray. Had the appointment at the doctor's this morning. Thought I'd get a bit of a rest later on, but the cat wasn't getting any better, so she needed to go to the vets. And and then just as I was about to settle down again, an old mate of ours turned up for a visit. So, but yeah, what a day, isn't it, with the old sausage fingers speech going on. Why they call it the King's Speech, I've no idea, because it's written for him by the government that's in power at the time. That keeps you busy, Roger. Yeah, it does, Ray. Absolutely, mate. But I do need me rest at times, especially with the fatigue and that. Plus, I've got I've had a sore throat for quite a few weeks now, and my breathing's not too good, which is something I've got to go to the doctors and see about. Evening, Stuart. How you doing, bro? But yeah, old sausage fingers there with his speech today. Well, the main thing was I was interested in with the acts that they're going to put in place, obviously. And to be honest, most of them that were mentioned were stuff that was being put in place anyway. Even the Tories were putting a lot of it in place. That's right, Ray. It's something that's ongoing, mate. It's problems I've been having for some time now. But yeah, they say they're going to modernise the government. Well, yeah, by getting away with hereditary peerage, that's a start, I suppose. Getting away with all the House of Lords would have probably been a better job, but there's a lot there that we've been moaning about with the Conservatives that they're still going to do. Supporting the Ukraine, for one. That's still going to cost us millions upon millions. And they've done away with the Rwanda thing. Well, we ain't going to get any money back from that. And the interesting one is, it's obvious that stamping his feet wants to get us back into Europe, back into the EU. As he said, we want to work closely with our partners in the EU. Well, they're not your partners. They fucked this country up good and proper. And I would stay as far away from the bastards as I could. But obviously, he doesn't see it that way. The new border force or whatever it is, border security agency, well, that's a load of bollocks. That'll be no different to what we've already got now. So I'm just debunking a lot of them. But the one that I particularly picked up on, and I have done a bit for a video. Whether I'll get round to doing it for tomorrow or not, I don't know. North Korea, yeah. Was the devolution of power. Now, Yes, they want to give more powers to the mayors, um, other governing bodies, councils, and stuff like that. Right now, think about where someone in that position already has the immense amount of power that they could have, i.e., London and dictator Khan. And look at the abortion of a place he's turned that into. Now, is that what's going to happen to every single city? We know the Luftwaffe want the 15-minute cities. We know that they want the pay per mile. Yes, so this is the issue now. But along with a lot of other things where he wants the union power, the private investment, basically all I think he's doing is shifting the power to everything. Yeah, exactly, Stuart. He wants everybody else to have the power under his control. So when it all goes fucking tits up, he can blame everybody else bar himself and the party. I think that's why he's doing it. Just my opinion. More powers to the police. Well, that was obvious that was coming because the Labour won't be able to run the country how he wants it to run without the power over us. And that power over us is usually controlled by the police. Evening, Missy. I showed in the video the other day, and there's with the clip of how Mark Rowley said he can't stop the protests with the powers he's got. Well, absolutely he can. For one, he's got the blocking the highway, so obstructing the highway, that is illegal, whether it's a protest or not. So if they're blocking the roads and causing a nuisance on the road, of course he can shut it down. He's quite happy to use pace. Usually section 1, section 5 on us. Literally, he could use that at any time in any protest on anybody else, but he's only using it selectively, as we've seen. We know the bias policing, we know the groups he protects. You'd be lucky if you see one of them in your 15 minutes, Ray, let alone if you travel outside it. But yeah, this is where it's all heading. As for the NHS, well, just throwing money at it like the other lot did is a waste of time. What they need to do is get the managers out of the NHS, the diversity managers and shit like that. They're the ones that soak up the money. That's where the money goes instead of to frontline staff who actually save lives and help lives. Now, basically, what the bollocks they've come up with today, all he's done is reconfirmed what I predicted several months back, that it will be a slow death by Tory or a quick death by Labour. Personally, I don't even think the country will reach 5 years with them in power. I think they'll be gone before then. We won. Good evening, sweetheart. Yeah, and for what the Royals do, I mean, that today, pomp and ceremony around that, absolutely ridiculous. Good for the tourists, but I didn't even see many of them on the streets, to be honest, watching it. And that's all I believe the royal family are now. They're a tradition. I mean, if he was a king, how kings used to be, he'd never have let this shit start, let alone carry on. and he certainly wouldn't back it. We know he's a WEF freak. We know he's an eco freak. Unbelievable. You mean agency nurses, Ray? Exactly, if that's what that means. They pay far too much for agencies. If they take on agency staff, then they should be paid exactly the same as regular staff. There's always going to be lurkers, Jenny. Don't worry about them. But most of my regular lurkers are actually in the chat tonight, which is it's nice to see. Yeah, King of all faiths. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I've never hidden that fact. But how he can do and say the things he does and then claim to be religious, nah. I mean, Stamper's already said that they want onshore wind farms. So that's absolutely going to destroy the countryside along with the solar panels, which aren't that green. They're not recyclable or anything like that. And the only way really that we've got any chance of sustaining our own fuel is using the North Sea. And he's not allowing any more of that. Which means we're still going to end up buying our power from Europe, which a lot of it is produced by Russian-given gains, shall we say. A lot of the coal that's sold now comes from Russia. We know a lot of the fuel and oil, diesel and petrol. Yes, some of it comes from China, some of it comes from India, but ultimately they get the crude from Russia. Diversity before quality. Yep, that is the problem, Ray. That is the problem. Good evening, Simon. Yeah, no problem, Simon. You're one of the regulars, mate. Yeah, I don't think Labour are going to last too long. There's already a lot of upheaval in their own party. A lot of people don't like what Starmer's put forward. And a lot of them don't actually like Starmer. I think a lot of them just joined Labour because they knew they were going to win the fucking election. But there you go. Just my opinion, you know. Yeah, we're all good here, Simon. I'm just very, very tired, mate. It's been a long day. And if it's dry tomorrow, it ain't going to get any better because the grass hasn't been cut since I went away on holiday. And the patio and the front parking area, the driveway, all needs weed killing. It's just gone mental out there. Come to look, it's got with cookies. But, yeah, the little cat, she's lost a hell of a lot of weight while we were away on holiday. She always gets stressed out anyway. She does suffer from separation anxiety. But this year she seems to have lost, well, she went to the vets today and the vet said it wasn't so long back when she went in before and she's lost 1 kilo in weight. She thinks there's probably an obstruction in her intestines. Evening, Dale. She doesn't know. It doesn't feel like a tumour, but on the outside chance there could be one. She's still not eating properly. Oh, yeah. No. But we've got some steroids and some other stuff for her. which she's got to take, and then we've got to take her back in a fortnight to see how she is. But she's getting on. I mean, she's 17 now, so she's not going to take to being messed around too much. Oh yeah, little one. No. But I won't be replacing her. It's I mean, we have talked about a dog, but unfortunately, neither of us have got the energy to walk a dog properly, look after a dog. Yes, we could take it on holiday with us, but I believe it'd be unfair on the dog because I couldn't have a small one. I'd have to have what I call a proper dog. Gary, I chuck pork scratchings out for the neighbour's cat. You'd be lucky if ours would eat that. You want to see the little cat? Let me get the other camera. Where are we? She is. Say hello. Say hello. You can see, well, you can't see it. You can feel her backbone and her ribs. She's not normally skinny. She's always been quite a fat, chunky cat. And yeah, eh? Yeah, you don't want to be on telly. You don't want to be on the films. Oh, angry.
Yeah, somebody stuck something up her bum.
Yeah. Didn't like the old thermometer going up there, did you? Oh, the cable's all tangled up. Yeah, the vet obviously had to take the temperature, and she never goes a lot out on that. Yeah, it is old age, mate. Both me and her. We're both getting on. Both broken. Isn't it? The only difference is I'll eat, you won't. Mm-hmm. What? But as most of you know, she's my constant little companion. She's never far away from me. Although she has been a bit more taken to Heather lately. I don't know why. She doesn't feed her any more than I do. She doesn't give her any fuss more than I do. But hey, you know, yeah, poorly little girl. Yeah. Yeah. She just doesn't look or sound like she's in pain. But oh, Craig, how you doing, mate? Who wouldn't be? Yeah. How you going down there in the West Country, mate? Enjoyed the summer we had back in June, did you? I think it was the 11th and the 12th. This is the first day we've had since we come back off holiday where it fucking rained. Yeah, no worries, Holly. No worries, darling. Yeah, you've got 3 kids. No, I'm not allowed another one. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How are you feeling, Craig? I know you were pretty bad again the other week. Been in bed for 2 days.
That's a good excuse for a weekend away. We'll go and look at the kittens, see if we want one.
Yeah. Oh, I do. She's always been loved, Simon. That was how we ended up with her. She used to live. She was the daughter's cat, and she had a staffy and what have you. And when they stayed here, she took to me, and I kept her. Now, her daughter's already got a new one, Holly. She picked it up, I think it was yesterday. I daren't go near it. I'm not allowed to go around there when they've got a new kitten.
I didn't say we'd have one of the kittens. I just said it'd be a good, nice weekend away.
Call them Dave, Brian, and Cindy. Yeah, trouble is, I get attached too much to an animal, and maybe you should have took me to the vets as well, see if they could do anything for me. Because I got today was just tests, and then Friday, I think it's Friday. Yeah, Friday. I've got an appointment with my consultant, the haematologist, where hopefully she'll give me the results of the tests I had about 2.5, 3 months ago at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, where they nuked my blood and put it back in me. Yeah, I'm ready for it, Holly. I know she hasn't got long, even without the issues, but it doesn't make it any easier. Doesn't make it any easier at all. Even, knowing it's coming and being ready for it, you're never ready for it. Oh, yeah. The thing is, she's even unsteady on her feet. She doesn't have a lot of strength, dear. Eh? Oh, she used to climb up on the end of the bath to ask for a drink from the tap, and now she can't even get up there. I have to put her up there. Yeah, it is, Sue. Especially, it upset me coming back off holiday and seeing her the way she was. It's obvious what it was. She does lose a bit each year when we go away, but she's normally back to normal within a week or so. But this time, she just hasn't. And she is just skin and bone at the moment. It's bloody horrible stroking her and feeling all the spine and ribs and that. But she's had a good few years, and she's always been well loved, and she's always been well looked after. And yeah, oi, bitch. Hey, yeah. But how's everybody else doing anyway? I keep forgetting to ask when I go live. Always chat about myself. I forget about you lot. I have to put a Wazza cam on, won't I? Oh, of course, yeah, you got your big test next week, haven't you, Holly? Hopefully it'll be all right. At least they'll know a bit more. It's such a long way to come, though, to have it done, isn't it, for you from where you are? Because I know you go to the same big hospital that I do, and I have to have some big tests. But I can always meet you over there. It's an easy quarter of an hour train ride from here. No changes or anything. Yeah, Missy, she's got to go back in a fortnight. And if the vet says, yeah, she's suffering, and they do a scan or an x-ray and find out that it is a tumour, then it's not worth putting her through the stress of anything for treatment with it at her age. The treatment would probably kill her anyway.
They treat it with steroids, which is what she's got.
Yeah, so Heather just said they treat it with steroids, which is what she got. So if it is, she should notice the difference by the time we take her back. Oh, next door's little puppy dog out there giving it large. They've got another little one out next door as well. Lovely little things, only smaller than a kitten. Oh, we can always come and pick you up, Holly. Yeah, I mean, I've got pictures of all mine. Where is it? I've got a disc somewhere that's got all my brain scans, CT, everything like that on there, including X-rays. Because it was quite shocking, actually. They did. This was when I originally had the blood clot on the brain before the strokes and that. Good evening, Karen. They did the CT, and what was the other one? They did a CT scan, and what was the other scan?
X-ray, MRI.
MRI, that was it. A CT and an MRI. And the consultant was going through things, and he just turned around and said, "Oh, your skull fracture's healed up." I'm like, "Hang on, are you looking at the right fucking results here?" I said, "I've never fractured my skull." And he said, "Yes, you have." He said, "Looking at it, it was probably about 10 years ago with the amount of healing." And it totally threw me. Yeah, so I said, "You're telling me I've had a fractured skull for 10 years and I've never known about it?" And he said, "Yeah, it was quite a big one as well." And on the CT scan, you can clearly see it. You can see the line. It's about a 3-inch crack. And I never knew I had it. But thinking back, there's a couple of possibilities of when it actually happened. One was when I was working on the door down in Cornwall. I got slammed around the head with one of the chrome poles that holds the queuing ropes and got knocked out Sparko. That was outside Bertie's nightclub. And I never went to the hospital. I'm fine. I'd just carry on working once I'd come round. That one. And the other one was a few years after that, as I came off a bike and banged my head. But, there was nothing there. No unconsciousness. Didn't even go dizzy on that one. So. But yeah, that came as quite a shock to find out that I'd fractured my skull and didn't know about it. Yeah, I've never been frightened of surgery, so I mean, I've had a bypass. They opened my shoulder up to try and fix that. I've had stents fitted. What else have I had? One bit of surgery I did myself when I sewed my arm up. Microsurgery on my face where I had my cheek ripped open by a dog. What else have I had? Several broken bones and shit. But that's never needed any surgery. Karen's on the wine. Yeah, whether I've got notes here for a video. Whether I'll have time to do it tomorrow, or whether I'll leave it till Friday, I'll have to wait and see. Basically, sorry if I'm not too bright or with it tonight, folks. I am very, very tired. I said I'd come on for an hour or so just to say hello. So. Once I'm trying to force myself to stay awake. Plus, I'm aching from the walking this morning. But at least I got the right day today. Why I kept thinking it was Tuesday for the appointment, I don't know. But I literally was walking out the door and I thought I'll just have one more check at the time to make sure I got it right. And then I realised I got the wrong day. Oh, if they're doing anything to me, I have to go under a general. I don't like them prodding and poking while I'm awake.
Rather be awake. Can I watch?
It's not that I'm scared of any of the procedures they do on me, Ollie. It's just you know what I'm like. You've met me in person. Someone prods or pokes someone in the wrong direction, in the wrong fucking hole, they're going to get a slap if I'm awake. Yeah, it's just as well I don't have any bowel problems, because if I caught a doctor ferreting around in there with both hands on my shoulders, he'd probably end up unconscious. But yeah, it's. I mean, I try to ignore what they're doing when I have scans and stuff, even. But there was one occasion where they injected me with some shit halfway through, and it made you feel like you'd pissed yourself, shit yourself, felt like your whole system was on fire. And they didn't tell me they were going to give it me. They just fired it through me when they were ready. And yeah, that came as a bit of a shock, because I actually told them, I said, well, you could, if somebody was not very well, you could actually give someone a fucking heart attack doing that without telling them. And the second time they did it, that was 2-3 years ago now, I think it was, maybe a bit longer. They actually told me, because I asked them, I said, look, if you're going to shoot shit through me, tell me so I know what I'm looking at. I said, because I'm likely to fly out that tube and fly at somebody. Ever since then, they explain exactly what they're going to do. Even the nurses at the local hospital here now, same as this morning, they've given up saying, oh, it's only going to be a little scratch. Because as I keep telling them, no, it's not going to be a little scratch. You're chucking a 3-inch fucking needle in my arm. It's going to be a little bit more than a scratch. Yeah, Ollie, it's weird. I mean, on one of the CT scans, I actually fell asleep. Carrier cerebral atrophy.
Cerebral atrophy.
Atrophy. Yes. Yeah, I can't really say about an angiogram. I've only had MRI and CT. Not saying they haven't done anything else when I've been unconscious, but I got none left to pull out, Missy. I got 7 on the bottom. And that's it. The rest are plastic. So I can take them out anytime I want. But I don't put them in the dishwasher anymore. I tried that once a few years back. And the soap powder and shit we used to use in them back then, it scratched them to hell. Oh dear. Oh, fucking eyes are going already. Yeah, this comes with age, Karen. I mean, I lost most of my teeth by the time I was 25. Most of it through fighting, but and motorbike accidents, of course. I mean, I haven't even got a dentist now. I did have to go during lockdown. Luckily enough, I found one that was still taking NHS. Good evening, Budge. Welcome. And I was lucky enough to find an NHS one because I needed a new set of false ones. My other ones had broke. So they elected to take 4 of mine out. I think it was 4 or 5 out from the bottom, leave me with the 7. And the plate they made me, which is the one I got now, is probably one of the worst ones I've ever fucking had. Can't eat properly with them. I have to take them out to eat 9 times out of 10. They keep coming loose. They don't stay in, even with glue. But I fucked them off. I had a right go at them and I wouldn't go back to them. So if anything goes wrong with the bottom ones now, I will have to pull them out myself because I haven't got a dentist now. So you've got none at all. But I think the biggest inconvenience for me was the strokes. It was something that came out of the blue. I knew I was acceptable. It's acceptable to blood clots. Obviously, I had one on the brain quite a few years ago. But that kind of shook me as soon as I got over the bypass. And then to have that happen, yeah, it was certainly life-changing. And it has been. And as I said before, that's probably been the hardest thing around it all to deal with, is the change in lifestyle. You know, stop doing a lot of the things I enjoyed doing and loved doing, simply because I can't physically do it anymore. And that is a big change to happen overnight, believe me. You know, in old age, you normally slow down from things and get used to it. But with me, it just literally happened overnight. And of course, now I have to be very careful, even if I'm out in the workshop or the shed. The smallest of cut, it could bleed for days. I'm almost at the same level as a haemophiliac. I mean, that's already started to bruise up in there now where they took the blood out of me this morning. Trying to come on to a takeaway. I'll be back in a sec, folks. Let's get a drink. Oh.
Thank you.
What? Not far on the way back. Thank you.
That doesn't surprise me. Sorry, guys, he's threatening to fart.
Yeah, I seem to have a great problem with wind lately, don't I?
You have no problem with wind.
No, well, I don't have a problem with it. It's everybody else around me that has the issues with it. No, it ain't, Missy, believe me. And you're still a youngster.
Not everybody keeps a can of air freshener by them.
It's better than keeping a can of fly spray. But yeah, you got to laugh at life. You got to take the piss out of it, because if you don't, it's going to take the piss out of you, isn't it? budget staying 30. I'd already started breaking myself by then.
I was 34 for quite a long time.
You was?
Yeah, that was Donna's fault.
Oh, well, there you go.
She kept telling everybody I was 34
Well,
till I was about 38, 39.
Well, it was like me with the mountain biking when people used to ask, well, how old are you? I said, well, I'm 54 going on 25,
Oh, bother.
What you done?
I should have got you to put the light on while you were going past.
You want me to go back and put the light on?
No, I'll go and put it on in a minute.
Missy stayed at 41. I wish I could have. Yeah, well, that's the thing with you, Ollie. You got older, but you just didn't get any bigger. I've been everything from 11.5 stone up to, I think it was 18.5, 19. At one point, I was a right chunk. I'm in the horrible 50s. I quite enjoyed my 50s, Karen.
Yeah, but that's when you met me.
Yeah, that's when I found Heather.
Oh, were we 40?
There's only
48, 49 when we met?
Yep. There's only about 6 weeks between us in age. The angry murder midget. I mean, I was still racing mountain bikes into my 50s, Karen. And I don't just mean pedaling around fields either. I was doing downhill. Always said the doctors told me to take up a safer sport. And I told them I'd take up cycling. They weren't too impressed when I told them and showed them what I did on them. But mine started when I was 36 and met my man. Well, the thing is with me, Karen, I mean, I've been married a long time ago. I got married very early in my life because back them days you had to under certain circumstances. And as far as I was concerned, I was conned into that circumstances. So I did the right thing. It didn't work out. But I always led my life, as I've always said. There was a lot of things I wanted to do before I got married. There was a lot of things I wanted to do and learn as well. And so once I got divorced, I set out to do them things and learn them things. Did a lot of traveling, not, traveling around the world, as it were, enjoying it. I was just traveling this country as well, doing lots of different jobs. Not because I was getting fired from them or anything. It was just once I'd learned to do something, I wanted to move on and learn something else. Tried to settle down once or twice. It didn't work. I'd picked the wrong person to settle down with. This time, 15, 16 years on, I believe I found the right one. And I can certainly say none of the others would have stuck by me with all my medical issues like Heather has.
Nobody's that daft.
But, yeah. And thought we were going to be looking towards a nice retirement, doing the sort of things that retired people always talked about doing when I was younger. But thanks to the last few successive governments, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think we're always going to struggle. We're always going to be persecuted by them now. It's The only ones that seem to be able to retire peaceably are the elites because they've got their own money to be able to do it. They don't have to ask the state for anything. You must say nice things, otherwise you're fucked up. That fucking budge. Had Labour turned up on the doorstep here. I think it was during the local elections, wasn't it? When I fucked him off.
Yeah.
And he just said who they were from, and I'm like, hell fucking no, and I just slammed the door in their face. I don't play games with them. We have our moments, Budge. It isn't always sweetness and light. We do have disagreements, same as everybody else.
Hell yeah.
You know, we're not the ideal couple that people seem to think we are a lot of the time. We've had our moments. But we tend to talk them through, and if we can't talk them through with any sense between either of us, then we got some very, very good friends who get involved and basically sort us out and batter us both, which is very nice. But on the whole, we get on, we enjoy the same sort of things. We've both got wicked sense of humour.
When it pisses me off too much, I just go out.
Yeah, knowing I can't follow.
No, because the other week I went for a walk.
Yeah.
Got as far as the corner.
But the Lib Dems at the door, all fucking hell. Well, I think most of them have blacklisted this address anyway, Budge, I'll be honest. The only ones I haven't had knock on the door are Reform. And they're the ones I'd like to knock on the door because I'd like to know more about them. But you know, they were all saying how bad our politicians are. I mean, yeah, okay, we've had a couple of politicians that were murdered not so long back. But the only thing we've had lately is quite a nasty milkshaking, isn't it, really? But then you see what the shit goes on in America. Unbelievable over there. But I think that attempt on Trump will boost his chances, to be honest, of getting back in over there. I don't follow the American politics. I'll listen to it occasionally, but I don't follow it because I don't really give a shit. You know. Oh, pardon me.
Nope.
That's the same for anyone you live with. Well, that's the thing, Missy. Both of us had resigned to the fact that we were going to be single. That was it. That was it for the rest of our lives. Neither of us were looking for a relationship. Neither of us were going out looking for partners or anything like that. We just got introduced and we hit it off and it just kind of happened.
You attached yourself like a limpet and I couldn't get rid of you.
Yeah. Like one of them sucky things. Oh, absolutely, Budge. Absolutely. I mean, and Biden didn't help himself with that shit statement at the NATO gathering either. He didn't help himself at all with that one. I always call him the mashed potato, Biden. But, you know, Biden seems obsessed with Putin for some reason. I don't know why. But, no, I was talking about this earlier with a friend of ours that was there. Now, when it was the Russian Federation, Russia was doing really well. Trade-wise, movement-wise, there was there was always the spy thing. That's always gone on. We've known that. But I think where he went wrong, and everybody seems to be the same, was invading the Ukraine. It's a war that was always going to continue. He escalated it, and basically what they've got there now is a modern-day Vietnam, with one side being funded by the rest of the world and supported by the rest of the world, and one very large company with a lot of resources trying to push the issue. Francis, good evening. I'd have no chance of getting through to them, Budge. Even the local MP blocked me from sending emails. And the Home Office did as well, a couple of years back. Who was in power then? Oh, that fucking Oompa Loompa. Can't remember her fucking name now. Right evil little cow. They got a few choice emails from me. Never replied to any of them, and then I did send another one, and it came back as unblocked. I'm not on Twitter or anything like that, so I can't say nothing on there. I won't go on it. But Facebook, YouTube. I did post a video on BitChute the other day, one of the ones I put on YouTube. Being as they sent me a nice email congratulating me for being a member of BitChute for 3 years. I thought, well, it's been 2 years since I posted, so I better post something. What else have I got? I'm on Rumble, but I've never posted anything on there, to be honest. But most of the things I do YouTube and FaceAche. But even FaceAche are giving me fucking grief now. YouTube have always given me grief. For some reason, they've started censoring my comments again on the videos. And not just you guys that are posting comments, they've been censoring my replies as well. Probably because I call them the faceless cowards and tell them they get sexual pleasure out of blocking people and deleting things. They're doing it again, are they, Holly? It won't be long before I end up earning my first badge, I suppose. Yeah, I haven't had Rumble that long, to be honest, Budge. I've only had it since, when did I open that account? That was beginning of the year. But a lot of the platforms now, even like Rumble, BitChute, they're all being caught up with censorship. You'd be like the North Korean generals, wouldn't you, Holly? All the medals. But you think about it, they've got the online safety bill. That's supposed to cover all platforms. But even YouTube and the like haven't implemented half of what they could do at the moment. Pardon me. That's why, they've got plenty in reserve. Let's put it that way. I always said that's what it was for. Nothing to do with protecting kids. I mean, to me, the parents should do a lot more to protect the kids online. There are bad producers out there that post shit and stuff, but the parents should take a bit more active and a bit more responsibility for what the kids get up to online. Nah, I haven't used Ghetto or X, Twitter, whatever it's called now. To be honest, I probably wouldn't last 5 minutes on there. Yeah, they should, Holly. I've always said that. You know, the parents pay the bills, they pay the Wi-Fi, they probably pay for the devices for most of them as well, unless little fuckers are stealing them or young criminals to pay for them. But yeah, they should take a lot more responsibility. But I've always said that social media is its own worst enemy, and it will eventually consume itself. You know, governments will just turn it off. They'll say, no, we're not having that. And the way it's going to be like North Korea and China, it'll be state TV or state-run internet. I mean, China has already got it. You know, they own TikTok, but they can't put on there what they want. And they won't show some of the stuff that's put on by the West. It's China's way of keeping tabs on what everybody's doing. Even the editing suite. I mean, I use CapCut. That's Chinese. It's a Chinese app. You know, so they can see everything you're doing through that. They can see what videos you're putting together, what clips you're using to put them together. Yeah, MK Ultra on steroids. Not quite as bad as Acoustic Kitty. But, you know, but there again, Russia had the big one, didn't they? What was it called? The big aerial thing. They're listening to everything. The woodpecker. That was it. A big array of antennas. But, you know, everybody said, oh, this site's secure. This information's secure. It's not. Nothing you do online is secure. If any of the entities, the governments, security, anything like that, wanted to get into any of your information, they will do it. Whether you've authorized it or not, they would be able to do it. Yeah, Holly, it is. It's the good side of it works brilliant. Absolutely. Keeping in touch with, I mean, you've only got to look how many of my old friends from back home, even my junior school days, I've got back in touch with some people that I'd lost touch with after I left junior school. That's only happened since I joined Facebook. You know? And yes, it has had a big impact on people's mental health. Good evening, Tony. A very big impact. And I believe a lot of the mental health issues that people are having now is because of the internet and social media. Yes, a lot of people will say it's same as I used to, it's because of what the government have done. Well, most of the people wouldn't have known what they've done if it wasn't for social media. And that's exactly why you're right with what you say. It's a double-edged sword. You know, you're putting yourself out there. A lot of people put their feelings out there. You know, what's going on in their life. One of the biggest ones, which poke into it, which people don't really see, is the benefits, WDP. WDP, DWP. That's it. You know, you know how many people get the benefits cut or sanctioned because of what they posted on social media. You know, people like myself that have got physical problems. Yeah, you got to go on holiday. Now, I go on holiday. I show films of when we're on holiday, when we've got some decent fishing. But I can't do a lot because I'm held back physically. But you get these people that, oh, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that. Next thing, they'll post a video of them pissed up bungee jumping in Spain or somewhere like that. And then they wonder why they get sanctioned. Yeah, if it's something they suspect, they've already given a warning about people that are taking foreign holidays. You could end up losing benefits from it. Bailey Newton, good evening.
The big question is, are you available for work? And
Yeah.
if you're in Spain, the answer
Is
is
no. If you're holiday in this country, yes, you are available. But if you're abroad, you're not. And, there's no, what they're like. There's no excuse or deter them and turn them away from that. We've seen how many people that have been caught claiming compensation falsely because video evidence proves, they're talking a load of shit. I've made no bones about it. There's a lot I can do, but I can only do it when the fatigue allows. Simple as. And I never know when it's going to allow me to do things. And I mean simple things like stand at the sink and do the washing up, cutting the grass. Sometimes that can take me 2 days, and we haven't got that big a lawn. Oh, pardon me. You guys only see me usually for 10 minutes a day in a video. You don't see me asleep here for the rest of the day because I can't physically move. You sort them out, Holly. Good girl. Yeah, zero tolerance in here. Don't forget, guys. Don't play any favourites. Yeah, mine does stitch. At the moment, yeah, I'm feeling tired, but I know now if I fall asleep now or try and sleep now for an hour or whatever, I'm not going to sleep tonight. And I normally sleep, I go to bed about 9, half 9 anyway. And, you've seen I do force myself to stay awake till 10 sometimes on the lives. But it's the other things, like my eyes are starting to go. They go in and out of focus. They start watering. They start stinging. Breathing issues, that's another one. Although I've given up smoking, I've given up the weed. I'm now off of the nicotine vaping thing, although I never used it that much. I've now got that amount of fluid left in it, and once that's gone, that's that out the window. But since I stopped smoking, my breathing seems to have got worse. Tony, I'm on ESA. Well, that's going to change soon, Tony. It's all going to come under the universal credit banner. Well, that was the idea. Whether the left waffen are going to change that again, I don't know. Yeah, Francis, you're absolutely right. Benefit fraud has been going on for donkey's years, ever since they started doing the dole, as it used to be called. There was always somebody that was going to abuse it. Back in the day, it was easier to do it because nothing was digital. It was all done with telephone calls and letters. I mean, I can remember many years ago in Cornwall, I had to sign on for a few weeks. So I went in, signed on. I sat in the car park waiting for a mate of mine. And I watched 2 guys that had been painting the actual dole office come down off their ladders, take their overalls off, walk in, sign on, come back out, put the overalls back on and back up the ladders again. But it's the wholesale scammers. I mean, same with furlough. I mean, they've got some of that back, but, but it's the open scammers. Now, you tell me why Sunak's wife needed to claim furlough. One of the richest women in the world, yet she still got furlough, claiming that she couldn't work and she needed it for the businesses. I'm sorry, but that didn't cut with me. She did not need that money in any way, shape or form. A lot of it, Jen, is being changed. They're going to do away with what they call legacy benefits. PIP is going to be changing. A lot of benefits, if they get their way, you won't get money out of it. You'll get vouchers. So instead of getting money to pay for food or anything like that, you will get vouchers. Yeah, it's the legacy ones, Gary. I mean, I could have applied for PIP, but to be honest, at the time I couldn't be bothered because I knew literally how much hassle it is to get it. Heather's applied for it because of her mobility. Have you heard anything back from them?
No, not yet.
A mate of ours, he's actually retired, and he's applied for it and kept getting rejected. God bless. Good evening, Simon. How you doing, mucker? But yeah, and the benefit system is all going to be changed, unfortunately. And for those of us that are permanently on the sick, which I am, they basically, and their own specialist wrote me off, telling me that I don't have to get signed off and what have you anymore. We're going to struggle because they'll come after us for some reason. Pap's fine, Gary. Spoke to him today, well, and yesterday. He's absolutely fine. He's just, as
Going
you know,
orange.
Yeah, going orange. Holly's. He's got hair on the top of his head now, even if it did look a bit yellow in the sun. Yeah, I don't think they can mess with the army pension, Stuart. I'm convinced of that. Some of the new ones that will get it might have a few issues, but those of you that are already on it, I think you'll be sound. Sold him as a slave to the Russians. Oh, I've got to put that one up. But no, he's absolutely fine, Gary. Absolutely fine, mate. So he is annoyed more than upset that he can't put content out at the moment because he just hasn't got the Wi-Fi where he is. He has got a laptop there, but it just don't cut it if you ain't got Wi-Fi. I don't know, Jen. I dare say myself or Holly will be chatting to him before the end of the week. But
if he was coming back in the next couple of days, I think he'd have said.
Yeah, I think he'd have said something.
So no, not this week.
Oh, got wind again. I'm on the old pension, 75, so it's guaranteed. Yeah, I think a friend of ours, a few doors up, he's on the same one, Stuart. Although Stuart isn't that old, is he? He's not 75.
Oh, I don't know.
But he still rides his big bikes. He's got a nice low rider up there. Oh, the 1975, okay. Yeah, but that's only when he's touting, isn't it, Simon? But yeah, Stuart's probably near the same age. Not you, Stuart, another Stuart, friend of ours here. He's probably the same age as me, to be honest. I haven't talked to him recently, I must.
He's very close to our age. I don't know whether he's a year older or a year younger, but yes, somewhere between 62 and 64.
But that's what he said. You know, he says basically his pension pays for the bikes, pays for his bikes. So that can't be a bad thing. We probably won't get any. Well, I'll be fucking dead before I get to pension age, I expect. But I've always said that there won't be a state pension by the time we get to that sort of age. And it's turning out, from what I've been hearing, that that's probably right as well. You know, those that have paid into the system won't get nothing back out of it. Yeah, very nice. Labour have messed a lot of things up most times, Gary. It's just when the Conservatives weren't very conservative, that's when the rest of the shit started. No, it's 70, Stuart. It's 70, isn't it? The state pension now, because Brian turned 70.
67.
57?
67.
67, sorry.
It's currently 66.
Ah, okay.
Because Brian is now 66.
So I could retire in 2 years then and get my 3 years.
No, by the time you get to 66, it'll be 67.
Oh, okay.
So yes, Stuart, it is 66 currently.
See, I'm
But
not
in the
that
next
up on things
couple
like
of
that.
years, it's going up to 67.
Oh, Venezuelan jungle. Oh, too many big spiders down there, God bless. Full of drug dealers. Well, there again, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Mars ain't no good, Ollie. It's full of junk now. It's like a scrapyard up there, isn't it? A bit like the moon. Yeah, it will, Stuart. That's what I say. I'll never reach retirement age. You just want to see the half-naked women in their grass skirts and shit, then. What? Yes, lost souls. Well, I did send a message out to the space chickens, Jen. I haven't heard back from them yet, but saying if you still want to take me away for a few experiments, feel free. I'll even put up with a little bit of probing to get off the planet. E.T. phone home. No, phone me. Phone me. I've got an old BMX bike out the front. I'll come and pick him up. I'm sure I can strap a basket to it. Phone home. You asleep, cat?
Just soaking.
It's quite funny, actually. She falls asleep on the arm of the chair here. and then I'll jump because she'll fall off. And she does make quite a thump when she hits the floor, along with a isn't it? Oh, you are awake. Yeah.
Only when she falls off the bed.
Yeah. Volunteers for probing. Well, that's about the only thing that the American government, well, any government, hasn't admitted yet, isn't it? Aliens. They seem to be wanting to go back to the moon and put men back on the moon just so they can turn around and say, well, look, yeah, we did actually do it the first time.
They did.
And obviously China wants to do the dark side of the moon so they can't be seen what they're doing. I'm volunteering my pronouns to the chat. Oh my God. Go ahead, Gary. Oh dear. Fucking eyes are stinging. Oh, God bless you. I'm going to try and keep going till about 9 o'clock. I did say it wouldn't be much more than an hour or so tonight because I am totally fucked at the moment. But I'm going to try and keep going till at least 9 o'clock. Take care of yourself, bub. I literally only wanted to come on to talk about what old fucking Butterfingers said in his speech today. But I did watch some of the live, well, they called it a debate in the House of Commons. But to me, it was everybody just big up in themselves. Roland Rat droned on for about half an hour and then stamping his feet did. Saying he comes from a country background. he wants to make up his mind where he comes from, doesn't he? He either came from a farming community, a rural community, or he came from a family of toolmakers. Because he just doesn't seem to be able to make up his mind on it. But his family have never been short as a bob or two, like he says. Absolutely. And the same as Sunak. Oh, I come from a humble background. What, with a GP as a father and mother as a fucking chemist? I don't think so. Yeah, he is a tool, Karen. Absolutely. It's probably the worst tool his father ever made. You know, we know that once they get in these positions, they'll quite happily lie through their fucking teeth. No, yeah, none of them have got any comprehension of what real life out here on the streets is about. Yeah, there is that, Francis. I suppose to him that is a humble life. To me, that was we'd have seen that as an entitled life, what they all had, even right at the beginning. Did wish he was a Scottish. Yeah, soon I said, oh, we couldn't afford Sky. A lot of people back in my day couldn't even afford a fucking telly, let alone something to show on it. And see, that's another thing that wasn't mentioned today in the speech with Stamper, as I call him. He's in bed with the BBC. Now, everybody was assuming that when the royal warrants up in 2027, that this BBC license, TV license, would disappear. Don't bank on it. Starmer has already said he wants to increase the funding to the BBC. Whether it will be through the license, I don't know. but I can't see it going away anytime soon.
Baby,
What?
do you want anything? I'm going to the kitchen.
No, thank you.
You okay for pop?
Oh, I'll have a can of Coke. Yeah, that one's getting a bit low. Thank you. Yeah. I never had Sky growing up, Stuart.
It was only in America.
Yeah. So where he got that from, nobody had Sky here back then. But his father a GP, nah, they didn't have any money, did they? Yeah, there is that, Stuart. There is that. Well, that was it, Holly. You had to cut yourself or grind up charcoal and stuff like that just to paint on the walls, you know. Never had any of this emulsion, this new stuff that you get now. You know, we did progress after a few years to actually chiseling the pictures in. But thank you. You know, if you wanted to trace something onto the wall, you know, you had to go out and grab the animal, kill it, and nail it to the wall so you could draw around it.
Oh.
Never any pictures of salads, though. We haven't got any muffins, Holly. We've been really, really good. Both of us have put on some weight. So we've got to cut down on a lot of the nicey things because it's not doing us any good. Neither of us are doing any exercise. I mean, Heather can manage a little bit, but I struggle with it at the moment, even walking.
I can manage a little bit of what? Cake?
Not walking exercise, my dear. I know you could always handle a little bit of cake. Like me, I can handle a lot of cake, but it doesn't do me a lot of good.
You walk to the hospital and back. I struggle to get to the corner of the road and back.
Yeah, I struggle to do that, mind. It used to, when I worked there, if I wanted to walk to work, it used to take me about 10 minutes. The same walk now can take me anything up to an hour. You can have as much of it as you want, Ollie. I'll be honest, I didn't realise how much I put on until I went to put my jeans on when we went on holiday or just before we went on holiday. And they always fitted me perfect. In fact, they were a little bit loose, if anything. And I struggled to get the bastards done up. I thought, hello. I was always like to start with, when I was mountain biking, I was a 34 to 36 inch waist. Once I stopped mountain biking for a few years, I hovered around the 36 to 38, which most of mine are. Now I'm more hovering between the 38 and 42. But that has only come along literally since I had the strokes. Because I still used to do a lot of walking. Everywhere I went around here, I more or less used to walk or ride my bike. And since the strokes, I haven't even tried to ride the bike since the strokes, to be honest. Because the thing is, I know the distance I could get away from the house on it, but not knowing if I can get back. It's a bit different to walking because, as Heather says, I can always give her a ring if I struggle coming back from the hospital or whatever, and she can pick me up if I've got the bike as well. Makes it a bit difficult. My lymphoma is bad at the moment. Any ideas? I have no idea on that, Francis. Unfortunately. 22, Holly. 2022. 2 hands worth.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah, on lymphoma, Francis, so it's not something I've looked into. The most medical shit I look into is my own issues, or if a friend of mine has come up with something and wants to know about it, then I'd look into that. But that was the big thing with the polycythemia. When I was told the diagnosis of that, I looked it up and did a lot of research on it, and everything was coming up as telling me it was blood cancer, which obviously can play on your mind a little bit, to say the very least. So on about the 4th, I think it was, appointment with the hematologist, I did ask. I said, look, is it polycythemia or polycythemia vera? Because that's the difference between the two. If it's got the vera on the end, it's the cancer version. And she did say, well, we've actually been waiting for the test to come back to tell you, but yours isn't the cancerous version. And that was quite a relief to hear that. Honestly, you're 26-inch waist, Holly. I thought you'd be smaller than that. But that was a big relief. But the symptoms of it are very strange. For those that don't know, what polycythemia is your body produces too many red blood cells, but they're fat cells. They're fat blood cells, which can clog up your arteries, cause blood clots. But some of the symptoms of it are really strange. Numbness in your toe, particularly the big toe on both feet. Didn't say anything about the others, just the big toe. Obviously, headaches, risk of blood clots, aching muscles is another one. And it affects your vision, which I found very strange. And I didn't believe it until I started feeling the symptoms myself, where your eyes go in and out of focus all the time. They start streaming and stinging for no apparent reason. Yeah, so it depends where you do your research, Stuart. But I'm one of these that every time I speak to one of my consultants, which I've had quite a few over the years, rather than just sitting back listening to what they've got to tell me, I actually go in with a list of questions that I've got for them. And it's surprising how much information you can get that they weren't going to give you by just having the right questions. Yeah, it's not self-diagnosis, but I like to know what I'm facing in the future or what's causing the problems I've got now. And after finding all the symptoms of the polycythemia, I'm almost convinced that that's what's caused my problems for quite a few years, going right back to the blood clot I had on the brain. Because I was getting lots of headaches before that. Probably not as severe, but not been well eating. bread and sugary stuff. Yeah, but everybody's weight. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, dear. Everybody's weight goes up and down, Jem. I mean, when I was working at the hospital, because I was on my feet walking all day behind mowers and using machinery, I was as fit as a fiddle, basically. Yeah, I still ended up with a blood clot on the brain. But over that time I was off with that, I found my weight did go up quite considerably. I did go back to work and turn a lot of it back to muscle. But
Have
now,
they kept feeding you?
Eh?
Have they kept feeding you?
Oh, my baby kept feeding me. But now, yeah, I put on quite a bit of weight since the strokes.
Heather needs to stop feeding you.
Yeah, well then I'll end up looking like a cat, won't I? Where's she off to now? Oh, she's going for the food bowl. Let her go. Let her go if she's going to eat. Probably she's drinking. At least she's drinking. That's one thing. The thing is, as you get older, you do, what should we say, expand a little bit more anyway. You know, unless you're a total gym freak, going in and working out all day or whatever. But there again, too much gym work can be a bit of a hindrance. Yeah. Cats' lives matter.
She had the water bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she didn't put her nose in it. She drank enough when she was upstairs. That's why I was late going live. I've never seen her drink that amount before in one sitting. Have you? Oi. Yes, you.
If she's got a problem swallowing, she's not.
Yeah, but a lot of your problems you're having now, Holly, are medical. That can't be down to your lifestyle choices. You're not as bad as some people I've known, Jem. I'm talking about people that go first thing in the morning, then they go at dinner time, and then they'll go at night. And it was weird. I mean, down in Newquay, I used to go maybe twice a week just to keep toned, and I was happy with that. And I was a lot healthier and fitter that way. But some of the guys down there used to go every day, you know, and they were muscle bound, and they used to have an awful lot of problems. Yeah, she isn't eating a lot of the biscuits though, Holly. That's the problem.
She's not eating anything.
She's not eating anything really.
Well, she had a bit of salami. Bit of ham.
We've been trying to give her what we call, yeah, it is human food, but proper meat. Some ham, chicken, stuff like that. She's always preferred that to the pouch food or dried food or canned food even. But she's always been very fussy about what she eats. But normally she did used to drink quite regular because of the biscuits. But she just doesn't seem to even hydrate as much as she used to.
She's turning her nose up at everything though. She's got wet food, dry food, chicken, and water. Oh, and a bit of ham. All down there.
She is getting wet food, Holly, but she'll have a couple of bites out of it, and that's it. She does seem to have a lot of problems chewing at the moment. You know, she's chewing on chicken and stuff's just falling out of her mouth. It's almost like she's had a stroke while we were away. You know, she can't eat properly, but
eyes are glazed.
Yeah. She's got you too. That's what she's got. No, I've known it with cats before. When they're getting to the end, they do tend to give up on eating, drinking. It's as if they don't want to prolong it. They just want to get there quicker. I don't know what they've checked, Holly, because Heather took her.
Because no, they didn't check anything, Holly. They had a good prod and a poke. She felt a lump in the stomach that felt wrong, as if it might possibly be a tumour. And rather than tests and shit, here's some steroids, go away, try that, let's see if it works. And if it doesn't, we'll get in a fortnight, they'll go and do the tests.
Yeah. She did wee worm. They had a look for. That was one of the first things I thought of, because I had that with a cat of mine before.
She said there's a bit of a problem. What did she say? Not a bit of tartar. A bit of gum infection in there, basically, but everything else looks good.
I was going to say that, but
sorry.
But yeah, I had one before that actually had to have a tooth out. She wasn't eating and hadn't been for a few weeks. And I didn't notice it, but when I took it to the vet, I said that straight away. They said that's the reason it's not eating. Oh, pardon me. It's got an infection in the tooth. So they ripped the tooth out. Obviously, they didn't eat anything for a couple of days, but then it was back to eating as normal. Thank you, Carrie, for the fact that you care more about the cat's health than me and Heather. But no, she is loved, and believe me, if there was anything I could do for her, I would. Absolutely. She has been my constant little shadow for the last 15 years or so. Usually when I don't want her to be, but what are you doing? This is it. If I turn around and look at her now, she'll be straight off that arm and wanting to come over here.
Well, try it.
What are you doing up there?
Daddy.
Daddy spoke to me.
I wasn't with Mummy, really. I wasn't getting fuss elsewhere. No, I wasn't. Look, I'm a good little girl. I'm going to sit here now. And wait, did you make me move?
Yes, she was, Holly, wasn't she? She was it's gone from the opposite, because I was worried about the amount of weight she was getting on. And now I'm worried about the amount of weight that she's lost, because she was quite a chunk. One year, bitch features. Do you want to come up here then? Come on in. Come on. Do you want to come up? No, you're just going to sit there and look with them beady little eyes. The furry assassin. Yeah, she was, Ollie. She was well overweight. She had been for some time. It's literally because she doesn't do a lot. She's like me. She's very inactive, and she couldn't get over the fence, get out the garden. She's even given up a little while back chasing the local cats about.
Hello, little Stitch.
Good evening, little Stitch. But no, you can't be bothered, innit? You're just going to sit in the middle of the floor.
Go and see Daddy.
Be like, not 9 o'clock. She'll be, come on, she'll be pouring at my leg. It's time to go to bed. But I will give it to 9 o'clock. I am suffering a bit, but it's only quarter of an hour to go, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, she's, what did Donna say? She was 17 now.
Yeah, she's coming up 17.
Which is not bad for a cat. Not bad for a cat. She's had a good innings. I know some of them go on to well over 20, but they're usually the ones that are pampered, shall we say. You know, they're not allowed out, anything like that. But she used to go out. I mean, she'll go out and sit on the table outside the window here. But that's about as far as she goes now. Well, funny enough, Ollie, if you look at her fur in the right light, she is brown rather than black. I mean, one of her offspring from the last litter that she had, I used to call him Shadow. I wanted to keep him, but I wasn't allowed. When you looked at him in a certain light, he wasn't black. He was actually almost white and black, tiger striped. He actually looked like tiger stripes on him. But in just regular light, he was black. My girl isn't allowed up. She loses her marbles. No, I think this one is Holly. She's very unsteady on her feet at times. As I said, she'll wobble around on the arm of the chair. She can't stop herself falling off when she starts to go. But again, a bit like me. I shouldn't be allowed out on my own. It's not safe for me or anybody around me, to be honest. I'm certainly not safe in my workshop anymore. I mean, if I cut myself out there now, I'm well screwed. Dangerous. Yeah, I used to think I was, Holly. But considering that, first day of fucking lockdown, the first thing I did was put a chisel straight through my hand. Didn't bother going to the hospital with that. I knew the chisel was sharp and clean because I'd just sharpened it. And that's probably why it went straight through. But Holly actually left the house. I don't leave the house as much as I used to, if I'm honest. Quite regularly used to enjoy a walk uptown or a walk up around the park. But I only go up now if I've got a reason to go up. Yeah, trouble is, Gary, there's so much out there that can cause me injury with me power tools and all sorts. I mean, even the fishing, as Heather will tell you, I hadn't even got a bait in the water before I managed to stick a hook in me.
Always.
I'll tie a few rigs up here the week before to put in the box ready, and I regularly end up with an hook stuck in my finger or thumb and blood. And true to tradition, yes, I did stick myself a few times up there. And I've got one that still actually hurts. It went in that deep. It's like when you get a needle gone in deep, it aches for bloody weeks when you touch it. I've still got one in the end of my thumb. And my fishing hooks are sharp. I keep them that way deliberately. They get sharpened regularly even when I'm fishing. Oh, she's eating, look, she's eating biscuits.
Yeah, she goes for biscuits when she does go for food. Which biscuits did you put out? The Whiskers one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes those because they're the ones with pockets.
Yeah, there's not many pockets in them though. Yeah, there's pockets in the treats tub out there, and she won't touch them. I might try her on them again, see if she'll eat them. Well, thank you, Lil Stitch. But that is a good sign, because I haven't seen her eating that much since we come home. To have her head in the bowl like that. Unless she's fucking falling asleep in there.
Yeah, but if she's just breaking the biscuits in half, it's not doing very much.
No, it's if she's swallowing them. We haven't actually given her any yet, Ollie. She only come back this evening. One of them we've got to try and mix in with a bit of food. Is it powder form in capsules or something?
Yes.
But she doesn't like taking any form of medication.
Oh, I'm wondering, you know that Primula ham?
Yeah.
If we mix the gabapentin in with that, I'm sure she'd enjoy that.
Or the licky stuff in the tubes that I got her. Although she seems to have gone off of that lately.
Yeah,
as well.
but that means a whole tube.
Oh, I don't mind her having a whole tube.
Yeah, not.
Well, try her with it. Try her with it. See if it works. I mean, the pills you're gonna have to ram down her throat anyway. She ain't gonna like that.
No.
I don't like that.
I'm well practiced. I've been ramming tablets down cats' throats since I was about 14.
I've got a drawer full of the bloody things here, which are mine. I don't like ramming them down my own throat. So. Right, that's 10 to 9, guys. I am going to call it because my eyes are starting to go really weird now. Sorry about cutting it short again. Hopefully next week I won't have anything on. So
you're not going on naked.
And I'm gassed right up as well. Oh, you finished now, have you? You finished munching?
You're going to come and say hi?
Want to come up? Want to come say hello to people? No? You just want to sit there and have a wash? Come on then. No? You don't want to come up? You just want to sit there and look cute? Yes. Oh, no, we're getting there. Come on then. Come on, you can get up there by yourself. Come on. Come on, say hello.
I know it aches, love.
Oh, Postman Pat and his little black. That's the thing, she's black and white. Yep, hopefully Mrs. W will be live Friday night with a ladies' night as usual. Obviously, the blokes are always welcome to drop in. But it's usually only the ladies on the panel
is by invitation. But if you would like an invitation, you only have to ask.
Yeah. I get on there because they like to take the piss out of me. Because what I do is so I can hear what she's saying live, because she's usually just upstairs from me here, and I can hear her through the floor talking. So I hear her, and then there's a delay, and then I hear her on YouTube. So she gives me the link so I can listen to it in real time on StreamYard. But that also means I'm sat in the back room, and Holly has access to that, obviously, being an administrative moderator in that. So I have been seen doing some weird things in the back room, and all of a sudden they flash me up on the screen.
Yeah, that's me that does that. Holly doesn't. Holly doesn't do that. She's nice.
Yeah, right.
What have
So
you been doing, Gary? Got a prison sentence?
I've been gone for a few months, so if I don't drop in. No worries, Gary. No worries,
You take
mate.
care, mate. Whatever it is that's keeping you out there, keep it safe, keep it steady.
And if you can't do either, keep it moist. No worries, mate. No worries. Maybe going to prison. Yeah. Of course you're nice on his channel as well, aren't you, Ollie? But yeah, thank you, everybody, for dropping in tonight. I'm just sorry I'm not with it too much at the moment. Well, it's not stress. I've just been absolutely knackered since we got back off holiday, and the continuation of other things hasn't helped. So, but hopefully next week I should be on for the full 3 hours. We'll come up with a lot of subjects again, like I usually have a list there. It's been a bit of a one-horse thing tonight, and I will probably open the panel up again and put a link up. I was going to do that tonight and totally forgot, to be honest.
You can have some sugar before you go on next week.
Yeah, I can have a Red Bull. I can have an energy drink before I go on. I'll try. It's been 4.5 years now, so no, stay positive. Yeah, I'm fine, Jen. It's just, it's nothing more than normal. It's just the same thing as normal. But I never know how it's going to hit and how bad it's going to hit. So, but until then, guys, again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. From myself and the lovely Mrs. W and little Wazza, I will keep you all up to date on what she's doing. I'm not promising a video tomorrow, but if I do one tomorrow, then there probably won't be one Friday. So, but I will be there in the chat Friday on Mrs. W's lives. So hopefully I can stay awake for that. She does tend to go on longer than me, funny enough. But until then, as always, guys, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free from what's coming. Respect, everybody. Stay safe.